good, boys and girls, pimps and simps? Welcome back to the Mac Life, the #1 channel here on YouTube for everything to do with OnlyFans, okay? Now, if you don't know about my channel, you're new, this is your first video, okay? I consult with 6- and 7-figure earners on OnlyFans as well as teach. I've made a shit ton of money in OnlyFans, and essentially I'm doing my rounds at the moment, looking at other creators' advice. Seems like this chick is actually from Australia, so I'm keen to see the advice she gives out. She's a top 1%. And I'll basically be critiquing and letting you know if I think it's correct and where she could improve on. Now, that being said, you know, I've gone with creators who have earned 6 figures. They've messaged me from watching my videos. We've made some very small implementation tweaks to what they're currently doing. And they've gone from 6 figures, early 6 figures, like 100K, to making 300 to 400K a year, just like that, by changing some very, very small things. So I have a lot of credibility in this space. You know, I've worked with some B-list celebrities as well. People earning 7 figures in this space. So yeah, this is the last video of the day. I record 4 videos a day. I do a podcast, 2 sort of reaction videos on OnlyFans or trending news, and then a business advice as well. So my voice is fried. Let's get into it. I like to leave a little comment, just you know, out of politeness as well. She looks like maybe a new channel. But let's hit her up. Thanks for the video. Lower dropping a reaction video on my channel. It's just polite, I think, to let them know as well. And that way, you know, you're saying, I'm going to use your content. I'll reference your video. I'll put the source. It's just a polite thing to do. Okay, let's get into it.
Lola, this is my first ever YouTube video.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so excited.
Look at how many subs she's got off one video.
Talking to a camera is like really unnatural for me.
Oh, I don't know. She's probably had more since then.
The more used to it I will get, and the more comfortable I'll get. But yeah, a little bit about me is I started OnlyFans at the beginning of 2020,
so
just
2
before
years.
the pandemic hit, and
so
then
nearly 3 years now.
I ended up getting pregnant and having a baby, so I stopped for about 2 years, and now I'm getting back into it, which is really exciting and really fun.
So she's had like a 2020, so I don't know, she's had a few months experience, I think is what I stopped you on the worst angle, sorry about that. Yeah, she's had like a few months really of hustling down on it, it sounds like.
I want to just like share this journey and also like share with you how I'm going. I'm currently in the top 1%.
Now this is a problem a lot of people have as well, is they chase and I'm not saying like this is a problem, but a lot of girls chase the vanity metrics, so being in the top 1% of creators. But when I speak with top 1% creators, they don't earn as much as some of the girls that I work with. And the reason is because we like to move, okay, the data that we rent, which is essentially on OnlyFans, off of OnlyFans to data that we own. And we move them into funnels throughout Kajabi and different things. And we offer upsells like, you know, Zoom calls for $1,000 US a pop, used panties for $1,000 US a pop. So a lot of people conflate and they mix up like the percentage on OnlyFans, meaning how much money you earn, and that's incorrect. I just want to clarify that straight away. You know, her video is titled correctly though. She's in the top 1% of OnlyFans, so let's keep it going.
And I want to grow from there. I want to get to the top 0.0%, which would be insane, but we'll see how I go. And just kind of give advice to other people out there that want to do it or are thinking about doing it.
I have to skip little bits, which can be annoying, but it's so that, you know, we just don't straight up take their whole video. YouTube's not a fan of that.
If you're thinking about starting an OnlyFans, well, this is what I did anyway.
Switch the audio or something.
My number one and probably the most important one of these 5 tips is make sure you 100% want to do it and that you're comfortable doing it, and you know that your friends and family will see it eventually.
The best tip, do I not give this as the #1 tip? And how little girls actually mention this. I'm very impressed, you know. If you're going to be in any business, you need to have a clear conscience. Otherwise, you're putting ceilings, you're putting caps on things already. And like, you might as well be in the lawn mowing business and just give it your all. Give it 100%. You're going to make a lot more money. Because if you're setting up caps and things, I don't want my accountant to see the bank balance says OnlyFans, da-da-da-da-da, you're already limiting how much you can make. And there's no point being on it. This gets tied in with having an exit strategy. So have an actual plan of how much money you want to make, okay? Whether it's a reoccurring thing each year and you want it to be a steady income for a certain period of time. You want to make a lot of money fast and use it to invest in something else. know exactly how much you want to make.
Essentially, I originally did it without anyone knowing about it. Obviously, my husband knew about it, but no one else in my life did. And it gets a bit tricky. Like, you feel like you're leading a double life, or you feel like you're pretending to be someone you're not. So it's definitely easier if you're just open and upfront about it. But you do need to take care of your mental health, because obviously you're sharing like a really personal part of yourself.
And to understand that every action, okay, is going to have consequences in life, whether good or bad. You have to more so just be accountable and understand that, like, your kids are going to probably see this at one point, okay? You have to be comfortable knowing these things. You're trading something for monetary gain. You're trading time. You're trading potential, awkward conversations, whether good or bad. You have to understand. I hate people who do not take accountability. They take in all this money and then they complain, yeah, well, people are calling me a thought online. Like, if you're putting this out there, I put videos out every single day, and I understand that people are going to call me arrogant. I understand people are going to call me a dickhead. I understand this, I understand that, but I still make a shit ton of money from pushing out these videos. So I have to be comfortable accepting that that's part of the consequence, and that's the same thing as well. She seems like she's got her head pretty well screwed on.
So yeah, you need to make sure that you're 100% okay that anything that you do put out there will be seen. You can't take it back. It's out there forever. So yeah, that's definitely the most important thing, I think. But yeah, so my number 2 tip is...
She's still doing me, like my budget level filming, just like checking a book. I could pay an editor for every single video, and I've done it in the past, but I'm just like, I do my podcast just unedited, reading off a book, and people seem to love it. I like the organic feel of like looking away.
I'm just looking at my notes. I can't remember them off the top of my head. It's all in there, but like not very structured. My number 2 tip is use a stage name or like a variation of your own name. You just don't want to be Googleable. I think that's how you say it. Googleable, weird word. Because, if you ever, whatever you want to do in the future, like if you...
Here mixes with having an exit strategy. See, she's given good advice, but only if that ties in with your exit strategy. If your intention is to make money in the short term and then go and get a job later on, okay? And in Australia, we're drilled this into our head. It's so bad. Like, make sure your resume's polished, make sure this, make sure that, make sure da-da-da-da-da, so that you're an upstanding person for this in case anyone wants to employ you. If you're turning over 7 figures a year within your own business, you should do whatever it takes to continue doing that. Don't worry about a resume and a job and working for someone else. And this ties in with having an exit strategy, because if your goal is to make 7 figures a year on OnlyFans, you should be the most Googleable person. You should be popping up in every feed. You should be having display ads popping up where you can. You should be having YouTube videos pop up. You should have an amalgamation of everything. But if your plan is to make as much money as possible very discreetly and then go and work later on, okay, it all ties into knowing exactly what you want. And most of you don't know exactly what you want. You say, yeah, well, I want to make 6 figures. I want to make this money. Why? What are you going to do with those 6 figures? Well, it would just... No, tell me, why do you want to make 6 figures? Have you broken down the unit economics? That's $287 a day profit post-tax that you need to make a $100K a year profit. What are you doing with that $100,000 if I gave it to you right now? Most people don't know. And once you have a very clear plan, it's very easy to succeed. Because if you want a $1.2 million house, you can break down the unit economics of how long that's going to take, how much time, how much you need to invest to get there. Okay, and then you have a dedicated plan, you can stick with it, and you can tie OnlyFans in around that. I've just fucking talked for ages, but it's very, very important.
Do you go back to a normal job or whatever? You don't want people Googling your full name and all your nudes coming up because, yeah, for obvious reasons. So I use Lola. It's just what I use. I think I got it from a movie I watched. Number 3, the most important thing, and just make it every day.
I tried to skip a little bit ahead to not use it, and I just skipped tip number 3. Let's go back.
Number 3 is make content. Making content is the most important thing, and just make it every day. I take photos every single day.
See, this is I think her points so far have been great. I highly disagree with this. Content is important. However, people really don't care about new content, because if you have a new customer coming in, a new lead that comes into your business and they want to see a picture of your ass, okay, they don't know whether that picture was taken today, yesterday, a week ago, da 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 da. That's why you need to treat it like a business, and you have sheets, you track things of who's seen what, okay? And what this does is it allows you to leverage time massively, and because essentially you want to put the minimum amount of input for the maximum amount of output, which is value and money made for you. If you're sitting there creating content every single day, that time could be so much better utilized doing active marketing methods like Tinder marketing, sitting there swiping, getting people across to your business, okay? Or focusing on minimizing churn rates. If you were to spend that time there, it would be so much better. So what should you do? You should bulk produce your content one day a month. Know exactly what you want to distribute, whether that's 4 TikToks for marketing, as well as content for the Onlyfans feed, softcore stuff, as well as having dirty pictures that you can sell, okay? The only time you should be producing content day to day is if it is a custom video that you are charging a exuberant amount of money for, i.e. you're running, someone wants a fucking sick fetish video of you like farting in a camera. And trust me, I've heard everything. Like inside my Discord group, we have dudes paying like thousands of dollars for the sickest shit. So yeah, that's the only time you would be producing content every day. Otherwise, it's a waste of time in terms of where time could be better spent in the business. So unfortunately, I disagree with this point.
In different parts of my house, in the outdoors, at the park, like, and just whatever you're doing on your day-to-day, like if you're going to putt, like there's always opportunities to get your shits out. Yeah.
But yeah, like I definitely disagree with, I don't know, I'm looking at it in a methodical way, because I can take people from 5 figures to 6 figures. I can take you from 6 to 7, and business doesn't care about your emotions or feelings. So I can tell you exactly, like, if you want to maximize the amount of money you're making now, your content shouldn't be on your mind every day. It should be spent on lead generation, and content should be a very small part of that day.
Yeah, so make content every single day. Have fun with the content you make. Make sure you've got good lighting, a good quality camera.
Yeah, and
whatever
like,
you have.
That being said, not too good of a quality either. Like it's people like amateur content. If you look through the stats, people actually prefer amateur content to professional content. But that being said, it doesn't cost much to get some ring lights, some RGB lights, maybe a top-down light. These are very cheap things, and your phone camera is more than good enough. If you've got the new iPhone, you've got a Pro, like a 13 Pro or something, your videos are shot in 4K. On the iPhone 14, which is coming out like in a month, that shoots 8K back camera, and it shoots 4K cinematic mode. You don't need better than that.
Background, make sure you try and make it like, pleasing to the eye. People want to see stuff that is pretty and attractive. So make it pretty and attractive. Yeah, for content as well, like I do a lot of themed things. So Valentine's Day just was the other day, yesterday. See lights.
All right, let's get on to the next point. I think that's her looking down here. I disagree with some of the content strategies that she's saying, and it's simply because I've just seen enough data to know that everyone has this base rate fallacy. And a base rate fallacy is essentially something we believe to be true, okay, but the data tells us differently. I.e., who's more shy, a librarian or a salesman? You would probably say, a librarian, they're quiet. You associate a library with being quiet, therefore that those people are more shy. But if you look at the data across, studies of people saying, are you more introverted? Are you more extroverted? Are you comfortable? Do you get social anxiety? Salespeople experience more social anxiety on average. They're more introverted across the board. They're more da-da-da-da-da than librarians, which is crazy. And more librarians identify as extroverted, outgoing, happy in social circumstances, smaller amounts of social anxiety. So these are base rate fallacies that we come up with, but we don't support them with real data. And like the content thing is a big one.
And it's just fun to get like...
I mean, shut the fuck up and listen to what you're saying.
Because it's all tax deductible, and it's just fun to get like different things. Like I've got like a galaxy shoot coming up soon where I'm going to get one of those galaxy lights and like... Yeah,
all the equipment, 100% is tax deductible.
Be naked and yeah.
Is that a point? Did I miss a point?
Different. Yeah, just be creative. What did I think I'm up to? God, I'm terrible at this YouTube stuff.
This is good for your first video. You used to look at my first videos. They were shot like vertically of me, like fucking. They were the most rancid videos you've ever seen.
4th point is advertise. Yes, advertising is probably the most time-consuming thing.
It's
It
the
takes a
highest
lot of
ROI
work.
activity.
I'm lucky because my husband helps me a lot with like the Reddit side of things.
See, this video
Yeah.
is a little bit dated now. I'll very quickly tell you all the most effective way to market short term is Tinder. Get as many phones as you can. You can buy cheap Motorola's off Amazon for like $40 a pop. Buy as many Tinder Gold accounts as possible. Set up a VPN. Make sure you have a proxy server if you can so that you can mask the IP. Make sure you use different pictures to hide the metadata. There's a heap of different shit. And then just sit there swiping all day on Tinder Gold. Sending people across to Snapchat, flirting with them, getting a little bit provocative, softcore stuff. Send them a link to Linktree. Send them across to Onlyfans. That is the quickest and most effective way to make money. And if you have 10 phones running, there is no chance that you're not turning over 6 figures a year if you put in the time, you put in the work, and you price correctly. There's no reason you're not turning over 6 figures a year and then up to 7 as you use the other methods with upsells and funnels.
And he like posts the content for me, or we do it together.
Also, TikTok is big. Organic marketing on TikTok using controversial methods and then TikTok ads. I'll shut the fuck up. Let me listen to what she's saying.
Yeah, that's definitely the #1 place you want to start advertising would be Reddit. Posting on there on multiple subreddits.
Not anymore.
And
but
I
yeah,
might
like
even
back in
create,
February,
like,
could have been for sure.
Downloadable PDF file of all my top Reddit pages. So yeah, I'll probably link it down below, or I'll put it in this video down in the link somewhere. If you want to know the top pages, because you definitely need to be posting to the right pages at the right times. Reddit's also got a huge American audience, so obviously social media. I started building my Instagram. I've only had it for like 4 weeks. Yeah, so it's only at...
Easiest way to grow Instagram as well is the 3-point method. So, you know, I teach this inside the Hive program, but essentially follow, unfollow, and then you add on some other sneaky things, which I'm not going to mention. But when you use the 3-point method, you convert around 70% of people. So you can grow like plus, 70 to 80 followers a day.
I think like 2,000 followers at the moment, but it takes time to build up. Yeah, and you just have to be posting all the time.
It's a lot easier to focus your attention on something like TikTok and then move them across to Instagram.
On your stories.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes a lot of effort.
So this is, I never judge people on their marketing strategies because strategies change over time. Platforms change. Why I teach people frameworks are because frameworks last for a significant period of time, usually forever. Psychology and principles of business, they last for a long time as a framework, but strategies change over time. So I never judge someone on strategies. Reddit has definitely been working for her because it got it at the top 1% at that time.
Interested in hearing what you have to say. And number 5 is be yourself. Like, just have fun. Like, I'm a little bit goofy. I'm not like...
100%. Always be yourself in any business. I get where she's going with this. So this one isn't a great, there was one thing on marketing. The rest were pretty much mindset principles, but they're very applicable. The only thing I disagreed with was the content thing, and it's something that a lot of girls get wrong. I'm going to take a picture here while I'm at the beach. Oh, now is an opportunity for this and that. They think it's more authentic with their audience, but it's really not, because people are searching for 2 things. Value. The value they're searching for comes from climax and connection, and as long as you can maximize on those 2 things, you're going to make more money and they're going to feel more valued as a customer. It's really just treating it methodically. It's almost sickening the way you have to do it if you want to maximize the money you make.
The hottest girl in the world. I'm just a normal person. Yeah, and I think that's what people are drawn to when you are being yourself. They're usually going to OnlyFans to find girls that are just normal people. They're not crazy
exact
people.
Same thing, like with the cameras and stuff. Doesn't need to be super professional. People like amateur content because they almost feel like they can connect more with you. You're not like, it's not like they're talking to fucking, I don't know, Oprah. Oprah probably wouldn't be a good example for OnlyFans, but someone more out of reach, someone more like where they feel, they're more at threat as well. Whereas someone, they can just feel like, this is another person that's like me, connection.
Stars.
Make more money.
They're just regular people that they can chat to and that they can relate to. I think that's definitely the most important thing. Like, I definitely use a kind of like not an alias. What's that word? Like when you kind of pretend to be someone you're not.
Pseudo personality. Fuck, look at my enhanced vocabulary. It ties in perfectly with my arrogance.
I know, like celebrities do it a lot. Like Beyonce has like Sasha Fierce. And that's her alter ego. That's the word I'm looking for.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, so have a little bit of an alter ego who's this like hyper hypersexual person. Like, there's more exaggerated sexual person.
Don't worry, like, I speak for 45 minutes on camera, like doing podcasts and shit. The amount of times that I've just been talking and I'm like, I like run into a wall in my head and then I'm like, what am I even talking about? And then I'm like, all right, that's why I got the notebook now. We got notes.
Then I am.
This was a good first YouTube video.
Yeah, just like have fun, play around with what works, and I'm sure you will find something. The other day I've kind of written down my like niches, I guess, like what I am comfortable doing. For example, like one of mine was kind of like girl next door. Like I always try.
This is important as well in terms of business. I'm glad you brought this up at the end. Know what you're comfortable doing and not doing so that you don't move down a path of like degradation for money. But that being said, the further or the more open you are to doing different things, you have to understand the more money you can make. And you can't complain. That's just the fact of how it is. People who are willing to fucking go out and get gangbanged by 14 dudes are going to hit a larger audience because they're willing to do more things. It's fine if you're only comfortable doing certain things. That's perfect. Everyone should have a level that they're comfortable with, but understand that the higher up what I call the content hierarchy you go, the more money that can be made.
To be like really kind and spread positivity. That's like,
yeah, that is
one of my things.
That's like my thing too. Spreading positivity. It's fucking massive in today's world. Once I have 1 million subs, I'm gonna fucking. I think a project that I want to work on is setting up schools for entrepreneurs in places like Thailand where I'm frequent and making it really about mindset and positivity and being empathetic and value. She got a good head, this chick.
Really like feel the love with my fans. That's my 5 tips. I hope you enjoyed them.
Thank you, Lola TV. That was a great video. I don't think she said her actual name at the start. I think, did she say she keeps it as an alias? I probably wasn't paying enough attention. What the fuck is that? Anyway, fantastic video. Thanks, Lola. I left a comment down below. I'm going to drop that reaction video. Feel free to reach out if you want some tips. I'm happy to get, like, every single person that I'm doing reaction videos for, I'm also happy to give out a little bit of free consulting as well. I can look at your metrics and give you some points on how you can make more money. So feel free to reach out on YouTube. And everyone else, I'll be dropping videos like this every single day. I've already done 3 other videos today, so make sure you hit subscribe. I'll see you all in tomorrow's one. Paka paka.